Welcome to Intuitive Seek. My name is Mary Train, and as an intuitive guide, energy healer, and meditation teacher, I aim to bring you a grounded approach to all things energy and intuition. Everything I share is with the hope to help you remember how your unique power of intuition is your own greatest teacher. Hello and welcome. Welcome to your Intuitive Week, your energy update for the week of June 22nd. And before we dive in, I did want to share some sad news, some personal news. Some of you do know already, if you work with me or if you know me personally, that last Monday on the 15th, on the evening, we had to say goodbye to my beloved soul cat Bandit very unexpectedly. And yes, my heart is very, very sad and broken. And his brother, who we adopted them together when they were 5 from the SPCA in 2013, his brother, the beautiful Beau, died in March 2022. And now that Bandit is gone, a very visceral loss. Very strong loss. And there's so much to how deep of a loss it is. And I do want to share more, but for now, I do need that time, like I'm sure many of you feel this way, that I need the time to feel and process before the words can be said. I've found before when I have gone through different types of loss that if I speak too soon or try to articulate too soon about any kind of tragic or profound transformative experience, that I feel more pulled away from my center, more ungrounded. And regardless of my spiritual and intuitive and energetic work, even being a death doula, certified end-of-life doula, having volunteered in hospice, when it comes to my personal loss, the physical loss is nothing I can really prepare for. And the waves of grief are maybe the only thing that I know will happen, but even the timing of the waves are unexpected. And even this episode comes out the day after Father's Day. And it's my second Father's Day without my dad, who was just the best. And he died March 2025, last year. So yeah, it's been a heavy week of loss and grief, and everyone is different. But for me, I do know that I need a lot of space and quiet and time. Yeah, it does feel like a sacred time, I would say. So I really need that sacred space or sacred pause. And if you are like me and need that as well, I hope you can give that to yourself instead of trying to put words or articulate or share or do things you feel like you should be doing rather than what you need to do. And for this episode today, I wasn't sure because I do need that time. I wasn't sure if I would record an episode for this week. I was feeling maybe I would re-release the June energy impressions for some reflection, but I did feel a pull because after Bandit died, my work has been a nice reprieve or bit of distraction. And that's the gift. After each client session, I was lit up, and it really helped me through the grief. And I feel like in my old career, that would have not been the case. So I'm very grateful for the work that I get to do. Truly a dream come true. And yeah, even today, if you're hearing this Monday, the 22nd, I get to host a workshop for Eliza Kelly, the astrologer, her fantastic community, the Constellation Club. And I'm hosting a workshop called The Writing Magic Hour, all about connecting to our creative spirit and also being inspired by a Cancer season author, a muse. Tonight will be Octavia E. Butler, the incredible author. And June 22nd is her birthday, so all very aligned. So yeah, I'm also really looking forward to that tonight. And even though it's not Monday when I'm recording this, but speaking to the future as you're hearing this, if you are hearing it on the Monday, that is what I'll be doing. And I feel really lucky to have that through the grief, right? So anyways, I do feel like that's all I needed to share for now. And yeah, let's get into what came through in the meditation for this week ahead for your intuitive week of June 22nd. Now, remember, for anyone new, welcome and welcome back to everyone who has listened before. These energy impressions, these energy updates, they are for you to help strengthen your own intuitive trust, your own intuition. So, really trust what resonates with you as I'm sharing what came through in the meditation, where I receive insight, guidance, anything to help us move through the week with more clarity and intention. If it resonates with you, trust it. And even as important, more important, trust when it doesn't. Trust that you know what is for you and what isn't. If my interpretation resonates, beautiful. If you have another interpretation, trust that. Really utilize it as a way to strengthen your discernment and the language of how your intuition speaks to you. Okay, so when I opened up the meditation, the person in the meditation that symbolizes you and I, represents you and I, we were walking on the path, but we were in the snow and we were barefoot in the snow. Felt very natural, not cold or scary, but the snow was falling and it was all over the ground. So it had been falling for a while. And this was a surprise. This was a very surprising visual for me and us here in the Northern Hemisphere, where we are in summer now. We just moved. Solstice was yesterday, and it's all about the symbolism. And I do love when it's a contradiction to what we might expect. But in the Southern Hemisphere, you just had your winter solstice, so maybe a little bit more of a connection to the South. So we are walking, we're barefoot in the snow, not scary, not cold, but a very strong sense of we're in the snow. And the light is so soft that it could be dawn, could be dusk, and we're holding a candle lit, feeling like a guide, holding it almost like a lantern in our right hand. And what does this mean? What does this mean that we're walking through the snow in the last week of June with a candle as a lantern in this kind of in between dusk and dawn? Not really sure which one it is. Well, it feels like this week we could be walking through an energy of renewal, an energy of purification. Snow is water. So it could also be connected to the water element, our emotional energy, walking through the depths of our emotion, but in a new way. Maybe we're guiding ourselves through a renewal or a purification of our feelings. Maybe feelings that felt frozen in time. Maybe feelings that this week we are ready to meet them. And our bare feet moving through them felt like it represented our grounded forward movement, our grounded momentum, our grounded action through these feelings, through this renewal and purification. We're holding our light, we're holding fire, and it felt like ours because we're being guided by it. So we're holding our light, our fire, as it helps to light our way. We could be invited this week to feel our feelings, the ones that may not have only been frozen from the past, but maybe the feelings and the emotions from experiences that have kept us frozen in the past, a part of us. But now, this week, maybe we are ready to move forward in that grounded action. The light of our spirit, the fire within us, lighting the way, thawing, renewing, purifying our path. Maybe this week is sort of a opportunity for energetic cleansing, to practice more energetic hygiene. But because the candle was moving us through this in between light, like it felt like that time of dawn or dusk, but it wasn't clear which one, we could also be offered an opportunity to trust our light more, trust what is lighting us up, and really follow it. Even if everything else around us feels deeply uncertain, even if we are feeling deep, deep emotions, even if we can only see the next step in front of us, it does feel like there's a shift in energy this week. That we could be at this threshold of cleansing and renewal and purification and clarity. Maybe this week is a week of grounded action, grounded trust through a form of a threshold that we're moving past before we land in July, in this next month. So pay attention to any kind of threshold, doorway, shift in energy that you may experience this week, and trust that you are lighting the way. Trust each step that you feel called to take. And know that if you can't see the 10 steps in front of you, that is part of it, that is okay, that you're not meant to. And then the next thing that came through was a focus on our left elbow. So it was our arm, our left side, and then a focus into the left elbow in the little kind of crook and the outside. And it felt almost activated, kind of pulsing, needing our attention, pulling our attention. And there's so much symbolism around this part of our body. So I will share that, the symbolism and the meaning. And since it's our left elbow, our left connects us to the energy of receiving, of allowing, of surrendering, of honoring and opening up to inspiration for the next creation, allowing us to receive for our creativity, to create, to inspire the action. So as I share about the meanings, the different meaning and symbolism I found, trust how it resonates with you and what you may need to know about how you are open or any challenges to receiving. And there was a great resource from healingsounds.com, and I'm going to share what they shared around more of the meaning and spiritual connection to the elbow. So, spiritually, elbows represent our capacity for flexibility in life, our ability to navigate challenges, changes, and to embrace new directions. They symbolize the elbow room, what we need to maneuver, to create space for ourselves and to set healthy boundaries. Balanced elbow allows us to be adaptable yet firm, to yield when necessary, and to push forward when required. They are intrinsically linked to our sense of agency and our ability to interact with the world with both grace and strength. The emotions connected to the elbow are associated with assertiveness, the ability to protect oneself, and the capacity to embrace or push away experiences. Frustration, resentment, stubbornness, or feelings of being unsupported can negatively impact the energy of the elbow. Conversely, feelings of empowerment, flexibility, and the ability to lovingly set boundaries contribute to their healthy functioning. And still from healingsounds.com, think about the physical function of your elbows. They allow you to reach out, pull in, defend, and support. Energetically, the elbow mirror these functions. They are central to our ability to take action, to implement our plans, and to engage with the world. They also play a role in defining our limits, what we are willing to accept or tolerate. So as I was sharing about that specific meaning from healingsounds.com around the elbow, where were you brought to? What were you thinking? Did it connect to somewhere in your life? Like, really trust that. And in connection to how you are open to receive what you desire and need. And then I do have this book called Spiritual Portraits of the Energy Release Points, a compendium of acupuncture point messages found within the 12 meridians and 8 extraordinary vessels. And in this book, I wanted to check in because it connects to the traditional Chinese medicine and the meridian of the elbow, of that left elbow. And this point in our body is the meridian that's connected to the large intestine. And that connects to the solar plexus. So when this came through in the meditation, this could be a spotlight, some energy that we need to focus on, some attention to our solar plexus. That this is the energy of our inner sun, our will, our personal power, our confidence, our self-esteem, our self-trust. And when in balance, it supports our ability to digest life, to digest our experiences, to process, and to actually let go of what needs to let go. And in that book, I wanted to share about the elbow crevice. And this is the L112 in the meridian. So from Michelle Marie Gervais, Spiritual Portraits of the Energy Release Points, the elbow crevice. This energy release point speaks to the ability to release the extraneous or superfluous material which blocks discernment and mental clarity. Many times, that which is extra or unpleasant is put away in a hidden place, a closet, a box, or a crevice, not wanting to throw it away, yet not knowing what to do with it. This is regardless of whether it is material or emotional in nature, hence the expression, out of sight, out of mind. However, after the passage of time, accumulation builds and things can leak, seep, and ooze out of corners, closets, or crevices. One is then faced with the daunting task of peeling through the layers, sifting through and cleaning up. This in itself can lead to more overwhelm or fatigue, the end result being indiscriminate purging just to get it over with. This energetic release point keeps things in balance. It harmonizes the thinking forces so that one may deal with things in an appropriate manner as they present. It raises the level of order and discernment so that one may flow with the rhythm of life. So if any of that resonates, take your thumb and press it in, and I would suggest the left side because that's what came through, but trust yourself, just in that little elbow crevice, and breathe, not too hard, not too light, just gentle pressure. Trust yourself to do it, obviously, not a doctor, not an acupuncturist, and see how you feel. See what comes up. And maybe while you're doing that, you can connect to what do you still need to let go? What emotional experience needs to be felt and released? And since it's on our left side, this could be that energy, that energy that's in the way of making space to receive what's next for us, to open up to the future. Even picturing your arms extending, is your left elbow opening up, or is it still shielding you from something? Maybe even do it physically and really trust like how your arms reach out, and is there a difference in how your right and your left are moving? So yes, it might be an emotional week. And it is the first week of Cancer season too, which astrologically is deeply emotional. The depth of water, so much heart, ruling the breast and the chest. So that really tracks for this week. But if you do get stuck in your emotions this week, meaning spiraling, stuck, not knowing which way to go, not knowing which way to turn, not knowing how to feel, remember the imagery in the meditation. We are moving forward. The snow is falling and we are walking through it. Spiritual and emotional renewal, purification. We are holding on to our fire to light the way, to melt the frozen snow, to allow stuck feelings to flow. Did not mean it to accidentally rhyme, but here we are. That does happen sometimes. So this week, this feels like a week to honor yourself and your experiences, to honor the changes you are going through and have gone through, to bring attention and honor who you are today versus who you were. What threshold are you walking through before July? What is being renewed? What is being cleansed? What are you being inspired to focus on? Where is your fire leading you? And then the animal came through, and in the snow on our path, what showed up? What animal showed up? Another surprise. A frog. A beautiful green frog, which really connects to everything that we've already connected to and touched upon with the symbolism. And as I share about what the energy of the frog represents, again, like really trust where it brings you in your life. Like, where are these themes connecting to and highlighting? The frog represents the energy of cleansing, releasing, transformation, creative inspiration, life cycles, healing, empathic energy, new growth, lunar cycles, authentic voice, power of emotion, self-love, heart healing, soul potential, and abundance. And of course, we must check in with Ted Andrews' Animal Speak, his book, and see a little bit more, some additional insight and guidance around the symbolism of the frog. The keynote of the frog is transformation through water and sound. Frogs have an ancient mythology about them. Being amphibians with links to the water and the land, they are often associated with the magic of both elements. This also links them to the lore of fairies and elves. Many shamanic societies, especially in North and South America, link the frog with rain and the control of the weather. Its voice is said to call forth the rains. Because of its connection to water, it is also linked to the moon, as the moon moves the tides of waters upon the planet, and those goddesses associated with the moon. The frog was an animal attributed to the Egyptian goddess Heret, who assisted Isis in her ritual for resurrecting Osiris. Frogs have been known to be heralds of abundance and fertility. The frog is a totem of metamorphosis. It is a symbol of coming into one's own creative power. It changes from an egg to a pollywog to a frog. Even after it becomes a frog, it lives close to and spends much of its time in the water. It always has contact with the creative force of which it came. This connection to water should also serve as a reminder. Are you becoming too mundane? Are you becoming mired in the mud of your day-to-day life? Are you needing to dive into some fresh, creative water? Are those around you? Are you feeling waterlogged, becoming bogged down or drowning in emotion? Because of its connection to the water, the frog can help us connect to our creativity, the power of our voice, and our emotions. So everything I shared about the frog and the energy and the symbolism, how does it inspire you? What did it make you think of? Like, really trust how the energy of the frog is guiding and inspiring you for what you need to pay attention to and what maybe you need to be guided towards. And now some writing prompts, some journal prompts to help you dive deeper into the energy of the week ahead. And you can also answer these in a voice note to yourself. Answer one or none, just trust what feels right. So the first question or prompt could be, where in your life are you experiencing cleansing, renewal, and purification? And number two, where is your inner fire guiding you? Where is your light directing you? And number three, what emotion do you not like to feel? What emotion do you freeze and why? And then number four, if you didn't do this last week, then I highly encourage you to do it. Make the time for it. Write a letter from your future self 6 months from now. So date it 6 months from now and tell yourself everything that has happened over the next 6 months and everything you need to know. Celebrate your success, compliment yourself, give yourself advice. This is such a great intuitive exercise, and you may be very surprised at what comes out of it. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Intuitive Seek for the week of June 22nd. I would love to hear if you resonated with anything that I shared, any of the energy, but also if you have any other thoughts or questions, please do not hesitate to send me a message. I love to hear from you. Thank you to everyone who has been connecting with me. I really appreciate it because, yeah, it's so nice to know that you're listening. Even though, yes, I see the downloads, but it's different when I do get a message. So thank you. And you can go to the show notes. All of the links that you need are there to connect with me or learn about how I can support you and all of my other resources. Make sure that you are signed up for my Substack, which is where I have my newsletter now, and you get a partnered snapshot of the energy of the week that goes along with the podcast. And yeah, subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you so much. Be extra kind to yourself and others. And I will talk to you next week.
just wanted to say something very, very meaningful. Cat.